Today's project is we're going to be building some wheels so that we can roll this cab around in the shop here. Eventually I'm going to want to flip it over and start working on it from other angles, and so I want it standing proper and then roll it around and move it in the shop as I need to. So I guess starting off building these wheels is materials. So you'll go down and grab yourself some wheels from the hardware store there, and then we got some 3/4 threaded rod. We've got some 3/4 nuts for our rod here. We've got some low profile kind of washers because we just want them the same diameter as that nut. And an easy substitute for that is you go grab yourself the 3/4 inch lock and you just work it in the vise and press it till it's true all the way around. That will serve the same purpose as that, same size. And then we want, in my case, I'm using 5/8 bolts. These are 3.5 long, I think. And we got some washers, we got a nut, we got a cotter pin. And if you don't want to use the cotter pin, you can use the nylon lock. Once you bolt that on there, that isn't going to move, that'll stay put. But in my case, I have put the nut and the cotter pin in there because just it's quicker, right? You pull that pin, and this is not going to be tight, so you just pull that pin, loosen off that nut, and you can change your wheel if you have to, real quick and easy. So as we got it laid out here, I've got the bolt, I got a washer, bolt goes through, I got a washer on the other side, 2 washers there, and then the nut and the pin. And to put that pin in there, we gotta drill a hole in our bolt. So if you have one of these tools for your drill press, you just sit this in there, and that's gonna hold it kind of true. So when you drill your hole, if you don't have one of these tools, what I've done is I just get a piece of angle iron, and then I tack some flat on the bottom, so it's like that. And then you can just bolt that into your vise for your drill press, and basically you're going to be doing the same thing. That'll hold your bolt, and then you can drill your hole for your cotter pin. So next is 1-inch square tubing, and I cut these down to 3-inch, and then center I drilled 5/16 holes, and then I just got 5/16 bolts and nuts and put that on there, and then you tack your nuts on. I got 2, 1 on each side. You don't need 2, you can probably go with 1. Once we've finished building this, then we take that bolt and we're gonna weld that onto the bottom here all the way around. And this is basically gonna be like our spindle for the wheel. So we come over here to our finished spindle. We've welded that on, and this is our threaded rod in here. So we got our threaded rod, we've welded the bottom nut on there, we've got our washer, we put our spindle piece in here, another washer, another nut, and we don't want this tight, we want it loose so that this will turn on there. And now this will be determined by whatever project you're working on or whatever. So our remaining 1-inch square tubing, we don't know how long that needs to be. Whatever you're fastening this to, it'll be different for whatever you're working on. But the idea is that you grab yourself some square tubing here, and you're gonna weld it. You're gonna weld it to the end. Here we are with the finished result. So we've welded that nut onto the square tubing. We've left enough threaded rod in here so that we could put a pin in there. So now this all turns as one piece, and this one is freewheeling. That's what we want. Later on, we'll determine how long this needs to be and where we need to fasten this onto the project. And you can get some flat bar, and you can weld this on here however you have to, whether you need it to be like that with a couple of bolt holes, fasten it that way, or in the center, and you have bolt holes on both sides of the plate all the way down or something, or if maybe you need to have it welded like that. So it gives you lots of options on how to either weld a plate onto the square tubing to fasten it, or simply fasten it with the square tubing itself by drilling some holes in here and bolting it on just like that.